Once upon a time, Nia was a gifted dancer from a small village in Uganda. From a young age, her fluid movements and natural rhythm captivated everyone who watched. She practiced tirelessly after school, using the dusty streets and her mother's kitchen as her stage. Dancing was her escape from the hardships of daily life. Her family struggled to make ends meet, but whenever Nia danced, it was as though all their problems disappeared. She often dreamed of becoming a professional dancer, performing on grand stages far beyond her small village. But without money or connections, her dreams seemed out of reach. Kato, on the other hand, lived in a different world. He came from one of the wealthiest families in the city. His father was a prominent businessman and his mother was a philanthropist. Kato had everything: fancy clothes, private tutors, and the freedom to pursue any hobby he wished. But despite his luxurious life, Kato was deeply bored and disconnected. His world, though shiny and polished, felt empty. One day, while driving through a nearby village, he saw a crowd gathered in the marketplace. In the middle of the crowd was Nia, dancing with such passion and grace that it left him breathless. Kato couldn't take his eyes off her. It was as if the entire world had faded, and there was only Nia and the rhythm of her movements. He approached her after the performance and introduced himself. At first, Nia was hesitant. She knew the type of boy Kato was: rich, privileged, and used to getting whatever he wanted. But Kato surprised her. He wasn't there to take advantage of her talent. He wanted to help her. He offered to sponsor her in dance competitions, providing her with the money and resources she needed to showcase her talent. Nia was torn. On one hand, this was the opportunity she had always dreamed of. With Kato's support, she could enter prestigious dance competitions and potentially make a name for herself. But on the other hand, she was wary of getting too close to him. Their worlds were so different, and she didn't want to lose herself or her roots in the process. After much contemplation and encouragement from her mother, she decided to take a leap of faith and accept Kato's offer. Their partnership blossomed. Kato kept his word, financing Nia's travel to dance competitions across Uganda and even beyond. They spent hours together, him watching her practice, her telling him stories of her village life, and him sharing his experiences in the city. They couldn't deny the growing attraction between them, but they never spoke of it. Nia's focus was on dancing, and Kato respected her dedication. However, with each passing day, their bond deepened. Nia's first big competition was in Kampala, the capital city. It was unlike anything she had ever seen: bright lights, grand stages, and hundreds of talented dancers from all over the country. Despite the pressure, Nia performed beautifully. Her raw passion and energy set her apart from the other dancers. After the performance, the judges were impressed and she placed third in the competition. It wasn't first place, but it was enough to put her name on the map. Kato was ecstatic for her, but Nia remained grounded. She knew there was still a long way to go. As Nia continued to climb the ladder of success, she began to notice the gap between her world and Kato's growing wider. The more competitions she entered, the more she was exposed to the elitism and privilege that dominated the dance world. She saw how other dancers with wealthy backgrounds had access to the best trainers and equipment. Though Kato provided her with financial support, she refused to let it change her. She continued to practice in her village, wearing the same worn-out shoes and dancing with the same intensity she always had. Meanwhile, Kato struggled with his own internal battle. He was deeply in love with Nia, but he was terrified of telling her. He admired her strength, her independence, and her determination. She wasn't like the girls he had grown up with. She didn't care about his money or his family name, but Kato feared that their class differences would be too much for their relationship to survive. His parents had already begun to question his involvement with a village girl, and Kato knew that if they found out about his feelings for Nia, they would never approve. The turning point came when Nia received an invitation to audition for a prestigious international dance academy. It was the opportunity of a lifetime, one that could propel her career to new heights. But accepting the offer meant leaving Uganda and moving to Europe, a world completely foreign to her. Kato encouraged her to go, promising that he would continue to support her from afar. But Nia was conflicted. She didn't want to leave her family, her village, or Kato. The pressure of choosing between her dreams and the life she had always known weighed heavily on her. In the end, Nia decided to go to Europe, but with the promise that she and Kato would stay in touch. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but they were willing to fight for their love. As Nia boarded the plane, she looked out the window and saw Kaito waving from the terminal. She smiled, knowing that no matter where her journey took her, Kaito would always be a part of it. The years passed, and Nia's dance career flourished. She performed on stages all over the world, gaining international recognition for her talent. But despite her success, she never forgot her roots. She returned to Uganda often, visiting her family and giving back to the community that had supported her. And through it all, Kaito remained by her side, his love for her growing stronger with each passing day. Though their love was tested by distance, time, and societal expectations, Nia and Kaito proved that true love could overcome any obstacle. They danced through the hardships of life, their hearts beating in sync and their souls connected by a bond that nothing could break.